Hi, and welcome to the second episode of Intuitive Journey with Desiree. I'm Desiree Holmes Scherini, your host, and this is a video as well as a podcast. So welcome in whichever version you happen to be seeing this. And I've titled this episode Going from I Wish to I Am. And I do like to talk about intuition all the time and tie it to everything. So that will get tied in here a little later, but I'm going to start with asking you to finish this sentence in your mind. I wish I were. I wish I could. I wish I had. I wish I was able. Okay? I'm sure things have come up for you, and I'm sure that you've said all those things somewhere in your life, like I have certainly, and I still do. I wish this, I wish that. And the difference with those people that say I wish and just keep saying I wish year after year and going on and just not doing it, and the people that say I wish and then the next thing you know they do and they are, is action. Okay, and so this is where the intuition kind of comes in, is why do some people take the action to change or to achieve their wishes and others don't? Why do some of us go year after year without taking action? Sometimes action is sort of almost forced on you. When you've put something off and wished, sometimes it happens because of outside circumstances. Something happens that you have to, pick yourself up and achieve that thing that you didn't think you could. Sometimes you finally just have an aha moment and your intuition kicks in and says, you can do this, and this is the right thing to do, and little bells go off and you take action that you hadn't taken before. But for a lot of us, we stay stuck in the I wish stage, never taking the action stage. And I'm going to do a little bit of a series of episodes here to get from the I wish to the I am. By going through this, I had a list. What to do with it? It was here someplace. Nope, here it is. I had a list of different podcasts or videos that all seem to tie together. So I decided to start with this one. I'm going to follow this in the next few weeks with defining your heart desire. Because if you don't really know what you desire inside, what you really want from life, then you might say, I wish this, I wish that, and never take action. Okay, so we're going to talk about that in the next podcast. And then following that, we're going to talk about what's getting in your way, how are you self-sabotaging, and identifying your obstacles. And there's a few things that can go into that. So just after this one, I hope to kind of get your juices flowing about thinking about making your wishes reality instead of just letting them be these amorphous, cloudy wishes in the back of your mind. You're going to find a chance to take action. So even just that, the first step toward moving from I wish to I am is just picturing it as real. Just picturing it as it's real. It's possible. Certainly there are some things that aren't possible, okay? Going to the moon, that is possible actually, but if you're determined, you could probably make that happen. But certain things might be more fanciful wishes. I'm talking about the kind of wishes that you see other people achieving that you really could picture yourself doing if you give yourself permission to believe you can. And that's one of the things that might be getting in your way, is not believing that you have the right, or that you're good enough, or you're smart enough, or that you deserve it. And a lot of that subconscious stuff that gets buried, okay, that maybe somewhere along the way you just weren't encouraged to believe that you could achieve your wishes. So, maybe it's time to just throw all that out the window and start thinking differently. The second step is perception. And perception kind of ties into what we just said, is that if you perceive yourself as worthy, and if you perceive things around you as good, and if you start to see all the good things you do have, then it seems much more possible for your wishes to happen too. And if you believe it can, you're probably 70% along the way to getting it. Think of that. If you believe you can, you're so close to getting it. As long as you keep it as, I wish, and then let it go at that, you're still, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen as long as it's just a wish. So first, you want to picture it as a reality. You want to imagine yourself doing that. And yes, this sounds a little bit like manifestation, but I'm not talking about magical manifestation. I'm talking about mental willpower, developing this mental picture, because once you see it, then you can start taking the steps toward doing it and being it, having it, whatever it is. So you picture yourself, you go ahead and have that wish, and you daydream and imagine yourself having that and doing whatever it is you wanted. Then you start perceiving things around you differently. Instead of perceiving things as, I don't have this, I don't have that, I never could, I never would, people don't, whatever. Start seeing what you do have. Start seeing the bonuses and the benefits and everything around you that is good. So for example, you don't have to be rich to go enjoy a walk in a beautiful place, right? You can go to a museum. You can appreciate beautiful things. You don't have to be rich to look at them and to enjoy them. And today I kind of blinged up a little bit. One of the ways of changing perception, I did this on purpose, so is, you know how you feel a little differently about yourself when maybe you've had your hair done, your nails done, and I'm talking to you guys out there. Earlier I was talking about putting on lipstick, and for women, you put on your lipstick, you get your hair done, your nails done. For a guy, maybe you've gone to the barber or you've just gone to the gym and you're feeling pretty good, and you've gotten a new shirt or new clothes or a piece of pretty jewelry. How that feels different, and that changes your perception of yourself, as opposed to being in the dirty t-shirt and the sneakers. And you change your environment and you can change your feeling about yourself. So these are funny little steps that you can immediately take toward your wishes. Start changing how you feel about yourself and how you feel about your abilities. So just changing your perception and your thought pattern about, I never could, to I could, to I'm not that kind of person, to I am that kind of person, to whatever I wish, I can have that happen for me, and picturing it as a reality. Then you're going to start writing it down. Write down your wishes, write down your goals, your dreams, write them down. And you don't have to say, oh, that's crazy, that would never happen. Write it down. We've all heard about brainstorming, and if you just write down the most ridiculous things, sometimes it might be ridiculous here, it might be ridiculous there, but you put them together and they make sense. And that's where some of the great stuff comes from, is being open and allowing yourself to dream, allowing yourself to see the possibility of these wishes being real. Okay? So also think back, how long have you been saying, I wish? So say, maybe you want to lose some weight. Maybe you've been heavy ever since the baby, or you've been, 10 years and it just kind of got stuck, it feels like to you. Maybe you can't let go of that weight. Well, a lot of times, most times, I think with weight, there's some underlying reason that you're hanging on to it. And that's a lot of times subconscious. And as a hypnotherapist, I always recommend, getting some help and examining your subconscious. If you've tried all sorts of diets and stuff and you gain it back, or it sticks around. So there's some self-sabotage that might be going on there, and we'll get into that. But if it's simply a matter of feeling like you just don't have the willpower, sometimes we stick with the easy route, but is it really easier to stay in a space where you're not happy? Because you go for year after year after year, and it's too hard to change. And that gets back into not seeing yourself as someone who can, not seeing yourself as that other person that you are inside. So it's a perception thing. Same thing with money. There's that, a lot of people talk about the money mentality. If you believe, oh, I've never had money, so why would I have money? Why would I have a good job? I've never been able to, right? So I could go on and on about that, but you understand what I'm saying here is to picture yourself exactly as you'd like to be. Step one, write it down. Write it down. And then if you reflect on how long you haven't taken that action to make it reality, start now. After you've written it down, write down one thing you can do. One thing you can do. It doesn't, you don't have to, that's also where it's like, sometimes it's too hard because it's overwhelming. If it's something like a big change, you don't have to do it all right now. But guess what? If you do a little bit and a little bit and a little bit, you're going to get there. Okay. So what's one thing you could do? Write that down. One thing. I already mentioned one was changing your perception about yourself, and writing it down and taking that step. That's just a mental thing. It's just changing your thinking. Okay. What's another thing? You each are working on your own wishes out there. So everybody's going to have a different step to write down, but write it down. And then write down how long will it take to do that one step. You could probably do it like in 2 minutes, or 2 minutes every day, or one change a week. And there's so many possibilities. All right. So what else did I want to add here? It's just encouraging you to stop wishing and take action on your wishes. So your wishes are your reality now. And seeing it in your mind, picturing it, holding that, and of course tying into your intuition. Sometimes if you aren't taking action on your wishes, maybe it's because your wishes aren't coherent with who you really are. So make sure you're not making a wish or saying, I wish I had that guy's money, or I wish I had that car. Maybe that's not true to your own value system. Maybe you need to find out who you are, what you value, and then see if your wishes line up with who you are. So that would really be step one, is taking time to get to know yourself and what your wishes are. And that's going to be in the next podcast. We're going to talk about intuition, about ways that you can define your heart's desire and be clear and concise about your wishes, so you're not just running in circles, chasing a lot of stuff and never achieving. Sometimes we chase something and it's because of other reasons. Okay. Sometimes it's because our parents want us to, or our husband or our wife thinks we should. Your friends are doing it, so you think, well, I should do that. So we'll get into that next time. So right now, all I want you to do is just raise your wishes to a little bit of a higher vibration by picturing them being real and changing the perceptions that you have every day about the things you already have. Because if you come toward your wishes in your everyday experience with gratitude for what you do have, already your wishes are coming closer to reality. So that's my pep talk on sticking with your wishes. Write them down, take some steps, and I will see you next time when we focus on defining your heart's desire. Okay, thanks. See you next time.